morning show. We're on the air at 9 o'clock on every weekday night, taking calls from the Bears. Hello, hello, it's Rangers Radio. Hello, hello, this is the morning show. We're on the air at 9 o'clock on every weekday night, taking calls about the Jazz.
Hello and welcome back to Rangers Radio, the aftermath show. For me, that was a terrible, terrible game. Rangers won, Aberdeen won. What do you make of that, Bridgeman?
Well, you know, I think that it was a war of attrition in certain positions today. Really tough game. I thought the referee really. I think they gave a lot to Aberdeen and virtually nothing to Rangers, to be honest. So I think it was a really tough game. I'm delighted that we've come away from there with a one each draw, because the way it was going, it looked like most of the, shall we say, the decisions were going Aberdeen's way. That's what it looked like to me. It'd be interesting to hear some of the guys what they think of it. Some of the guys for the lobby there, and they can contact us on 0141 356 sorry 1972.
No, there's no phone calls, no, Bridge.
Oh, no phone calls. Okay, pal.
Skype's changed what they're doing. And it's just
so they can Skype in.
Contact the show through the Skype now. So if anybody wants to Skype in, they can do it through the Skype. Bridge.
Right, so they can contact me through Skype at rangersradio.online, and the old school blue will bring them in.
The point is now, the highlight for me, we're in the heart. Bridge, let's be honest about it, we're in the heart for the next round now. Just need to take them to Ibrox, and I think it's next Tuesday night, 7:45 kick-off, and we should beat them at Ibrox. I'd like to think to beat them at Ibrox, but today's game was just for the first half, for example. I said that a minute ago there. I think the ball was in play for at most 2 minutes. In the first half, it was out for throw-ins, out for corners, out for by kicks. There was fouls. It wasn't a very good game whatsoever. It was, Joe Worrell put us out the broom stuff in the second half to get us that goal, for to get us into the next round into the heart for the next round. So, and we take them back to Ibrox, hopefully, and do the job there, Bridge.
Yeah, that's what I said that. I actually said that just after that, after the penalty, the way the game was going. I said, and just I got to half time, I says, I'll take one each now if we can score a goal against this lot. But I'll have to admit, I was delightfully surprised because we got up the front there and made a number of chances on the break. And I thought Arfield had a really good chance that wee lob. It was a lovely move. Great cross from Candace. Great flick by Ryan Kent right into the path of Arfield. Maybe it was a wee bit too high for him, but I don't think it was. I think it was perfect for what he was doing, and that's what he meant to do. He just hit it maybe too hard. That was a really good chance, a really, really good chance for us.
I think Alan McGregor was quite unlucky with the penalty as well, but you got a hand to it, but just a wee bit of power behind it. They couldn't actually keep it out. The penalty for you, Bridge, was that a penalty? Was that
I'd say that in all honesty. I thought it was a penalty. I've got no complaints. Their centre half went to ground to clear the ball, and as he was going down, the boy stepped over his foot or stepped over his leg, and his foot was swept away. I think he injured himself in doing so. I don't think Goldson injured him, but he certainly took his leg away. And there's not much you can say. He's an attacking player going forward. The ball's, it looks like maybe within a yard or so, and our centre halves brought him down. I personally, in my heart, I don't see any great problem with the penalty at all, apart from the fact of who it was that did it. I mean, the guy Stevens, the River Kelvin swimmer. So, other than that, and I thought that, yes, our goalkeeper, very unlucky. Made got wonderful hands to it, or one hand to it, really, and managed to push it up into the ball went up in there. A wee bit, shall we say, less pace on the ball, and it would have been a save. It would have been a fine save, push for a corner.
It was taking the. I mean, they took the goal well. They got the goal. We had nothing to reply to them in the first half, Bridge, but in the second half, when Big Joe Worrell scored, do you think we should have went on there and win that game, or were you just happy to say, "Ken, we got the draw and we get back to Ibrox"? Do you think there was any chance of us actually winning that game in the second half? I didn't think we played well at all today, Bridge. There wasn't very many pass marks for me. Morelos wasn't really in the game. Kent wasn't in the game. I think with Morelos getting booked early on in the game, that keeps him out of the game, really. Young Kent wasn't in much in the game. Candias wasn't in much in the game for me. There wasn't very many pass marks from me. I'm not saying anybody was poor or nothing, Bridge, but there wasn't really anybody got any high pass marks for me today. We've got the 1-1 draw, and we'll go back to Ibrox next week for the replay. That's the way I see it, Bridge, to be honest with you.
No, you're 100% correct. And I thought, as I say, I thought at half time I'll take a 1-1, and then when we got the one that brought us level, I thought we started to, shall we say, show a bit of quality as we went forward, because most of our midfield work was getting done on a defensive basis. Sometimes they were breaking through us in midfield, and we were ending up back next to our own area, and that kind of thing. And you have to take your hats off to the way Aberdeen played, not their manager, but the way their players went in and did what they had to do. But as Foxy likes to say and likes to tell us about Aberdeen, they are a dirty team, heavy tackling team, block. Even that young lad that was used to play with us, I can't remember his name, who was playing today with Aberdeen, he probably had a good game for Aberdeen, but he didn't do very much other than block. So they were getting a lot of blocks against us on and off the ball, which is very frustrating. I thought, yes, I agree with you that Morelos, unfortunately, getting that booking, which I thought was never a booking, a very soft booking to me, because the other guy did the exact same thing, just up the park and dived, and never even get spoken to, no anything else. So there was a few decisions I found baffling. But yes, George, I thought we could have went on to win that game. I didn't think they were going to score against us, but I thought we may have pinched another goal, and it was hard luck we didn't. But I was delighted we didn't lose, and we're back to Ibrox. We'll see how we go on.
Can I just remind everybody, if anybody's want to join the call today, they need to do it through Skype. Skype's changed the format for taking phone calls and things like that, so you'll need to do it on Rangers Radio Online on your Skype. See, the other thing, Bruce, do you find this change we never made any substitutions today? I said that to Fox a minute. Did you think that was just we didn't want to break up the play, or didn't want to take any chances? Or was it just, do you think he was just happy to go back to Ibrox next week with a 1-1 draw as well? I found that a bit strange for we go for a 90 minutes game and didn't make any substitutions. We had a fairly strong bench there with guys in the bench who maybe think could have come on and made a wee difference to four and things like that. Was he think he was just happy just to go with that to the end of the game and get it back to Ibrox next week?
Yeah, I think that's right. I think that's probably what he thought. He's not going to take any chances. The way Aberdeen were playing, particularly getting near the end, they were lashing out a bit. They were catching some of the Rangers players that I saw. I don't think Aberdeen are a good team. I think they're a really physical team. However, they managed to subdue Morelos to a great extent, and I don't blame our manager for not putting anyone on. I think it was probably, at the end of the day, it was probably a wise decision because we could have picked up injuries.
Aye, well, that's another way you've got to actually look at it as well. I just thought when you get to the 75th, 80 minute into that part of the game, you maybe want to try and twist. But you're saying you thought we could maybe run and win the game as to get the goal, Bridge. Yeah, I think if we made a substitution here or there, we could have maybe changed the game. But seeing the game, you could have changed the game and it could have broke the flow of the play and changed guys where guys were playing and things like that. Might have not been ideal for the team. That's maybe how he was thinking about it.
Yeah, I think if you look at the way Aberdeen tend to play, they've got great dependence on the likes of that boy Greg Stewart, and they'll bring McGinn on, and they're quite good players on their day. But I thought Greg Stewart was only in the game 3 times to me. The rest of it, their game was all about pumping big high balls, to me anyway, pumping big high balls down and making a threat on our centre halves, who, when they did head the ball out, weren't getting forced behind it, so it was dropping down and we couldn't pick up the second ball from that, and they were picking it up and pushing, and that's where a lot of their threat came from in that sense. But really and truly, you looked at their goalkeeper, and all that goalkeeper did was kick balls a mile into your half, nothing else. They hardly played a ball out to the opposition defenders to run up with the ball. There was a couple, but not very much. And I just see Aberdeen as a kick and rush person, in my opinion, kick and rush team. And very heavy tacklers. Very.
I think it was a really frustrating game to actually watch, Bridge, and for just actually sit there and watch the game. For our players to actually be involved in that game must have been actually even more frustrating to actually just sit there and be a part of that again, because I like to say Aberdeen were hoofing big balls. They weren't the way to play football, and it's just a horrible. You said it earlier on. It's a horrible team, Bridge, and it must have been horrible to actually be a part of that game. Nobody able to break them down, and 10 men behind the ball. And once it went to 1 each, they weren't really interested in going for the game, Bridge. They were just happy to sit back and take what we had to give them. It wasn't a very good game to watch all in, so it must have not been a very good game to actually be involved in as well.
Yeah. As somebody's come on now, Fox has put a wee message in there, George. Stars trying to get in. We can get him to answer. Sorry?
It's Ibrox, John. Just before you go there, mate.
Hi, guys.
Just so I can explain. Due to technical difficulties with Skype, we can only accept calls on rangersradio.online. What will happen is when you phone up, we will refuse your call and then phone you straight back and bring you into the call. Okay, guys, so don't panic if I hang you up. I'll bring you straight in.
How you doing, Ibrox? All right?
Hi, guys. Yeah, can you hear me okay?
Aye, so how would you make of that today then?
Disappointed with the first half, frustrated, but relieved that we're taking a replay back to Ibrox. But I have to say, Clancy's performance was a shocker today. I mean, they could have been down to 2, or maybe 9, 8 men with some of the incidents that happened in the game. I mean, that striker Cosgrove, he could have went off. Shinnie could have went off, and I think persistent fouling from Considine as well. He wouldn't give us anything, you know, and he didn't give Morelos anything at all. I think it should have been a penalty for us. He booked him for diving, but there was a foul there. He should have went down earlier than what he did, and he got pinged for it. But I'm disappointed in that respect. I didn't think we turned up in the first half. It was pretty poor. There was no fluency or crispness to our passing or our play that we've seen in recent weeks. And we were lucky to get away. I think we 1-0 at half time, but looked better in the second half. Nervy stuff, but no, glad we're taking it back to Ibrox now. But Clancy's performance again, a shocking performance in my opinion.
The thing is, I mean, we can talk about performances now. We've got it back to we're going back to Ibrox next week. Ibrox, so we should beat them at Ibrox. It's a week on Tuesday. Sorry, a week that's coming Tuesday. So whenever played the first half, for my opinion, was absolutely terrible. I thought for both teams, just a horrible game in the first half. Second half wasn't much better, to be honest. But the highlight for that is we can get back to Ibrox next week. I would like to think we can beat them on our own park at Ibrox in the replay.
Yeah, it was a scrap. You know, it was a cup final scrap, in particular in that first half. And Aberdeen are just the epitome, the sort of rugby player type Scottish football teams like Motherwell, Kilmarnock. They come out, they're physical, spoil the game, don't really play any really good football, lump balls into the box. That's the way they win games. But look at I'm hopeful for next Tuesday. It's as Stevie G said, bigger pitch, better pitch. I think we can come through.
Well, that's what I said. I said that to you a minute ago there, Bridgeman. We're not agreed today, but going back to Ibrox next week, I would like to think we're still in the heart for the next round of the cup. The cup's drawing the Mora, but going back to Ibrox next week, and I would like to think we can take care of them at home at Ibrox Bridge.
Yeah, I think so. I think as I say, the way we played it, we tried to play our lovely passing game that we've managed to build up, and in some parts it came off, and we managed to get into their box. Very dangerous. I thought our forwards, particularly Candias and Morelos, between them, got caught offside too many times for the passing game, because it just spoils it. You know, you get a couple of lovely passes and then a cracking pass through, and it gives you a wee chance. So I think Candias and Morelos need to watch that offside, because Aberdeen obviously had managed to play them offside. Other than that, I think we were the better attacking team and passing, but too many times we let our passes go astray. Other than that, I don't see us getting beat with that team. They couldn't have beat us in their own midden, and we basically gave them a penalty. You know, because you just the way Goldson did that was daft to me. However, I'm quite happy. You're right. We're going back to Ibrox, and then we're going to outplay them.
What did you think of the referee, Bridge?
Oh, the referee's woeful. He's probably one of the poorest referees in our league. And that's a big controversial game, Rangers or Aberdeen Rangers. And what I'm saying, John, as far as I'm concerned, I hope he's not the referee for the replay. I hope they give it to somebody.
I don't think he can be, mate.
I'm saying that. I hope he's not. I hope he takes ill or something like that so that he can be discounted, because he is a dreadful referee.
Oof.
There must have been his decisions and the way he decided things. He allowed a lot of the game to play on, shall we say, when Rangers were attacking from the midfield. A lot of times he allowed the play to go on, and there were some dreadful attempts to tackle on some of our midfielders that should have been pulled up, stopped, the game stopped, pulled up, and the guy Ian Sievers either spoken to or booked. But no, once you let that go by and you run it through, unless there's actually terrible physical contact, the referee won't do it. But when at the time he sees it, he sees what the guy's trying to do. And okay, he doesn't catch the guy the way he wanted to. But my God almighty, I think it's just shocking. I really do think it's shocking. That referee is rubbish. For me, rubbish.
I agree. I mean, there was that one in Candace, but Candace, fair play to him, he ran on. And then there was the other one, the one with Considine, studs up against Arfield, and that's when that big stramash ensued. I mean, that was a red card for me, a straight red. So I don't know what he was looking at, but it looked like a red to me, that's for sure.
Yeah, George will tell you the amount of times we've seen this and seen it. Rangers players are shabbily treated by the referees, shabbily treated. For that just to be a free kick is just nonsense. It's just utter nonsense, you know.
Yeah.
It's a straight red card. That's all there is to it. They're just if it was a Rangers player, as the old saying goes, a lot of guys like to say this. If it was our team, so if Morelos had done that or Arfield had done that, I'm quite sure the referee would have booked him.
And it'd be pouring, and if it's Morelos and it'd been the same outcome as today, it'd be poured all over in the media, in the papers, in the phone-ins, with Chris Sutton and Craig and all the rest of it. They'd be all over it. But because it's Rangers, they won't be all over it, because that doesn't suit their agenda.
Well, all I can say, whatever they're going to say, obviously they want to say something about Rangers. So it would be, shall we say, semi-negative at least, because we didn't beat Aberdeen. That's their excuse for that. And Morelos was a wee bit off. Or are they going to say that McKenna and Considine and Ball all played a fabulous game against Alfredo Morelos on his own? You know what I mean? They're going to say that their defence managed to beat off Alfredo Morelos. Sorry, that doesn't ring true for me. Just doesn't. So as far as I'm concerned, Rangers are a far better team than Aberdeen. Far better.
We were a far better team, Bridge, but see, at the end of the day, I mean, I don't think even we can, obviously we discuss the referee, of course we do, but I don't think you can put any blame towards the referee. The referee never had a great game, but our 10 players in the park, I would say 10 players because McGregor was in goal, but our 10 players in the park never had a great game either, Bridge, if we're honest about it. See, just come back to the penalty kick as well. Me personally, I thought it was a penalty kick. But when you look at it, I've just seen a replay there, and Big Worrell had it covered as well, but because Big Worrell was coming in as in to cover the back of Goldson anyway, Bridge. So if Goldson maybe didn't have to make that tackle, Big Worrell would have maybe been there to free him up as well, because when you see it actually coming across, when the tackle was actually made, Big Worrell was standing in front, so Big Worrell was obviously coming in to put a challenge in as well. Yeah,
I don't think he was going to catch the ball. I don't think the guy was in any way, shape or form going to catch the ball. I think if he doesn't kick his leg or sweep his leg from him, he's going to take the ball anyway and push it out for a throw-in. If he misses it, you're right enough, Worrell, or maybe another hanging about there, would probably got it. I don't think Mackay-Steven was getting the ball, but he did take the boy's feet away. And that's the reason, that's the only reason I'm saying it.
But to me, Bridge, Goldson should have had a look. You know, he should have had a look to see who was over to his right, and he never done that. And he went into tackling and he caught him. So I mean, it was a penalty, but I think Goldson should have taken a wee look and thought, right, I've got cover here. I'll just leave it and I'll get covered and I'll be all right. But he didn't do that, so that was unfortunate.
I think you're right on what you're saying. It's a decision the guy's made. He's made that decision and he's paid for it, as far as that's concerned. Because there was a few stramashes, like there is in every game, where balls getting booted in 2 and 3 times, they're getting blocked, but the goalkeeper makes a good save, and so on and so forth. That's what was happening. Aberdeen did that maybe 4 or 5 times during the 90 minutes, where it was all big fellas in there booting a big long throw in or a corner or a free kick, and everybody just kicking for the ball, And they never get through. Rangers played some wonderful passing. I thought they managed to push the ball really well up the park. Unfortunately, Morelos and Candace got themselves caught offside a number of times, which breaks the flow up with our thoughts, and we end up giving stupid free kicks away, so the ball's getting pounded back in again. I thought Kent played well, but you could see where he was trying to avoid the tackles that were coming in, because I'm quite sure some of these studs were caught down the back of his leg, no bother at all, if he didn't move out the way.
Let's cut across the Newbridges, Blue Star. Joining the call. How you doing, Blue? You all right?
Hi, George. Hi, Bridge. Hi, guys.
Hi, Blue Star.
No, to be honest, I've got to disagree with most of you. Sorry, guys. I thought we were really, really poor today. I really did. I think the passing phase was quite shambolic in the first half. First half, I thought our midfield were, quite frankly, we were basically shoved off the ball. A lot of the times the referee seemed to give them every single decision in that first half. For me, we had 2 players in the midfield up against 4 and 5 most of the first half. That was Kamara and Jack. I thought Arfield, as usual, he ran about. He had one flick on. Every other time he got the ball, he gave it back straight back to an Aberdeen player. Kent was getting no joy up the wing whatsoever. Certainly the second half, we were more in it. But to be perfectly honest with you guys, never at any time did I see us winning that game. Never at any time. I think, to be perfectly honest with you, I'm overjoyed that we've got them back at Ibrox, because for me, I thought we were really, really poor today. I honestly did.
The highlight for me today, Blue, is the fact that we've actually got a second chance at it. I said that I thought we were terrible in the first half and didn't think we were any much better in the second half. It's all right to blame referees and fouls and things like that, but Aberdeen didn't need to come out and try and beat us. They're not that kind of team that needs to try and beat us. We need to try and beat their teams.
Totally agree with you, George. Totally agree with you. And let's be honest, I agree with Bridge when he says that Aberdeen are basically spoilers. There's no really any skill for them, but to give them credit, they upset us the first half and they done enough to go in front. As for the penalty, see if you actually watch it back, guys, Goldson never tried to kick the guy's calf. He actually stumbled and he didn't even attempt to tackle the guy. He actually stumbled, and as he stumbled, he stuck his legs out to try and stop him getting down, and he caught the guy. Oh, aye, Stonewall penalty, don't get me wrong. But if he doesn't stick a leg out, I think Worrell would have got to the ball anyway. But he genuinely didn't try to foul Mackay-Stevens. He never even seen him.
He looked to see what's around him, though, Blue Star.
Oh, totally agree with you. Aye, he was too busy looking away to his left.
Aye.
And he just stuck a leg out trying to stop his cell going down. But he definitely didn't try to foul the guy. But I accept it. I mean, let's be honest, it was a penalty. There's no argument. But no, for me, guys, the day, I really thought we were, I'll put it as nice as I can, I thought we were really poor. I honestly did.
Oh, I'd have to agree with you, mate. I think we were poor, especially in the first half, and I thought we'll be lucky to get something out of this. And that's why I said at the start that I'm really relieved that we've got a replay. Really,
definitely.
I mean, the midfield was shocked. Jack was terrible today. I mean, he really was. His passing, he really looked off the pace. We couldn't get the ball to Kent. He usually produces a bit of magic. Candace was okay. But and Arfield was okay in times, but generally our play was poor. So that's why I'm relieved we've got through with a draw and a replay.
Well, guys, see, would you agree with me on the fact? I'll go back to the first half. Most of the time, we definitely had 2 players in the middle of the park. Now I know we still had Kent and Candace, but they weren't effective as in midfield players. You basically had Jack and Kamara up against 4 and 5 red shirts all the whole of the first half. And I'm saying to myself, but surely the rest of the guys run about, Jack and Kamara, will push forward to help them out. But it wasn't happening. It was not happening. And sometimes you've got to look at it and say, well, the players have got brains themselves. They don't need to keep plenty of orders. If you see that 2 of your guys in the middle of the park are being ineffective and get overrun, then you've got to get in there and help them. But it wasn't happening. It just was not happening. Kent kept trying to go away out to the left, and he was getting no joy whatsoever if it was at Considine. And Ball played Kent. Don't get me wrong, there was umpteen fouls against them as well. The whole of the first half, never did I see the referee gain as one single decision. Everything went their way. Everything.
But Blue Star, see when you seen the starting lineups go up and you seen that Ball was playing at right back and we know we've got Kent on the left, did you think that that's going to be our main route? That's going to be the route where we're going to get a bit of joy? I was
absolutely.
Keep feeding them, and he never touched the ball for the first 25-30 minutes.
That's right. Yeah, I mean, and I was listening to, I had the Radio Scotland on as well, because my thingy was breaking down quite a bit. So I had them on, and they had Neil McCann on, and he kept saying the same thing. And he says, Kent's the one player on that park. He says, when he went in that run on time, he says, he actually thought something was going to happen. He says, but he's not doing it enough. He says, when he's getting the ball, he says, instead of cutting inside even, he wasn't. He was getting beat all the time.
He was drifting in quite a lot as well, and I can understand he's probably trying to make things happen, but that his spot is touching the paint on the left hand side, taking a ball, beating a man, getting to the byline and getting across him. But he was drifting about a lot, and I think he maybe should have just stayed on the wing a lot of the time. Yeah,
as I say, the good thing, guys, let's be honest, we've got another game at them when we're at home.
Yeah, definitely.
That's the one positive you can take out of it. But for me, I've got to be truthful. I really thought we were pretty dire the day. I've got to be honest.
The first half of Aberdeen is probably the perfect scenario. One of the boys gets booked. They got a goal, and we never even kicked the ball in the first half. The second half, we weren't even that much better. We got the goal, and like you say, that gets us a replay at Ibrox. And I'd like to think we can beat them on a replay at Ibrox, but I thought we could have beat them today as well. We went into this game, 14 goals, 3 against the last, 9 against the last 3 games. So I didn't see them being much a threat to us at all today. And we got that first goal. It was a penalty. We got that first goal against us, and then big Joe Worrell scored the equaliser. I think it was a bit of relief and says, right, let's just get out here with 1 each draw now and take them back to Ibrox. It wasn't how I seen the day gone before kick-off, if you know what I mean.
Oh, absolutely. And the other thing I would say, guys, see whenever the wee man get booked, my heart was in my mouth the rest of the game, I've got to be honest. Because you're looking at it, and there was a few of them were having, and let's be honest, there was 3 or 4 times where he was blatantly body charged after the ball, right in front of that referee, and the ref never even attempted to give him a foul once. Not once. That ref was dire. He was determined he was giving his no decisions.
Well, they should name him Clancy. I mean Clancy.
Oh, he was dire. Dire.
I was
Bridge, what did you think of that referee, honestly?
You speaking to me, pal?
Yes, Bridgeman.
Sorry, buddy.
What did you honestly think of the referee?
I think the referee was dreadful for most of the game. I do think there was a couple of tackles that were eachy-peachy. But seriously, most of the game, Rangers got very, very little from that. If we got in, it was mostly negative. I thought the Morella's booking was very poor. I didn't think it was a booking at all. In fact, borderline, it could in fact have been a penalty for us. And if that hadn't been in the penalty box, he may not even have given him for diving. It's because it was in the box. I don't think it was a dive. I think the guy pushed him down. In my opinion, it's only my opinion, he pushed him down or pulled him from the back. And for me, that was a penalty for me. And there was another incident with Kent. He was getting pushed at the other side of the box. And he again pulled, probably by Dominic Ball and Considine between them. In my opinion, there was a number of times there. Could have been a penalty. The only decision the referee made was he gave a free kick and a booking against Morella's. Other than that, nothing controversial for the Rangers. as I said earlier, I think that the time that what's his name, our midfield, Arfield, when Arfield got caught high with a high boot rather, that was a red card. For me, it was a red card. But the referees failed to do it. But he made no mistake. He went over and spoke to a lot of Rangers players at times to say you know, and just wrong.
The one with Tom Miller on Rangers TV, the one with Kent when he got sized. See if he'd went down, that was a Stonewall penalty, and Kent tried to stay on his feet. And my argument to that is, what is the rule in there? Do you have to go down before you get a penalty? Because I think Kent was feared to go down because he'd already booked Morelos. I honestly believe that.
Agree, mate.
It was a Stonewaller.
Well, can you put yourself in the player's position and he's through? Is he going to get a chance to shoot? Probably. Good chance if he's going to get that. But the referee sees the intent. He sees a defender with the intent to actually shy him down. And he failed in his intent.
Absolutely.
That doesn't mean to say he didn't mean it. It's the same when Candias got away for the guy. The guy tried to pull him down and missed him entirely. That's 2 red cards alone. 2 red cards.
Yeah.
Each time the intent's there, the referee should be, okay, once he wants to play on. But he should be getting that guy immediately after play stops and give him a red card for that. So in my opinion, the game should have been stopped and both those players should have been sent off. That's my opinion.
For the very second that Alfie got the yellow card, I thought to myself, I thought I could see him getting sent off. Hefty gets a yellow card that early on in the game, and I thought he's not going to be able to get in for a tackle now. They're going to wind them up, and I just couldn't see him staying on for the full 90 minutes after that. But he did, to be fair, he did. He never actually had much chance in the game, but I was really surprised he actually stood on for the 90 minutes after him getting booked that early on in the game and having to go the rest of the game with him kicking lumps at him and things like that. So I was actually quite happy because he would have missed the replay, obviously. So I was actually quite happy with the fact that he never actually took to the bait bridge, because I'm very surprised he never, because he likes a wee bark at them, and again he does. So and booked that earlier on, and he handled himself well, to be fair.
Yeah. I think we need to wait until this evening if there's an evening sports scene or whatever programme we're going to show the highlights on, if there is one. And we'll see then. If it's BBC that's showing it, then I'm afraid that it will be mostly negative. There'll be a lot of those attempted tackles will be missing. They'll not be in the show. So that in my opinion, will go all out to show Rangers in a bad light, i.e. Morelos getting booked. That'll be the headlines, eh? That's the headline. Morelos gets booked for diving. Wait a minute. Where's the dive? So they should forensically look at that and tell us how Morelos dived there. Because every single one of the pundits we've got in this country say, you hear them saying it, if you get touched, you're entitled to go down and ask the referee the question. That referee never even seen a question. He said dive straight away. Wrong. However, back to that again. We're back to hating the referees again.
No, you're right. The referee never had a great game, Bridge. But my point in the matter is, before we look at the referee's performance, I think we've got to look at our own team performance. And our own team never gave us very good many performances as they as well. So I think we've got to. I mean, we could go through it all night and we'll go through it for the rest of the week. But I think Ryan Jack, Arfield, Kent, Candias, none of them really got pass marks for me. They never done what they were supposed to do. I mean, they were all probably 6.5 if you're honest about it. We want these guys to be up 7.5 and 8 for us to be winning games, and we need to be right up there next week when we're going to beat them at Ibrox for to get in the next round of the cup. The draw's in Mora, I think, for the round anyway, so we'll ken who we've got the Mora if we beat Aberdeen, or when we beat Aberdeen next Tuesday night at Ibrox Bridge. Yeah,
absolutely, pal, and we know. I'm very happy that we managed to come away from there with we scored a good goal and came away with a result that keeps us in the competition. Because the times that they've beaten us, they've actually stole the game from us by a really lucky corner kick that sort of skittles about between two people, or someone, that young boy, had a lovely header. So there's been a couple of times when our defence have fell asleep and they've managed to get in and get a goal and things like that. And not today. I'm very, very happy. We're going back to Ibrox and we'll mollocate them, and that's for sure. And that'll allow the manager to change his team to suit the team, whatever team he wants to play. That was probably our strongest team. Might be able to play other people that can complicate it better. I hope Morelos isn't banned. I hope he's not banned at the moment.
The thing for me, Blue, I mean, we go back to Ibrox next week, and we've got we're horrible. I thought we're terrible today, right? But at the start of the game, you must have been the same as me. I was confident we were going to go through the next round, no bother the day, and then when they went up 1-0, come half time, I said, if we got a draw at this, we're doing well today. And it just goes to show you how willing to accept things. At the start of the game, you were definitely going to win the game. There was there's no chance of them beating you. But halfway through the game, you're willing to take the draw and go back to Ibrox next week for the replay. That's the difference in the game. That's how the game went for us today, wasn't it?
Yeah.
100% agree with you, George. A bit like yourself, bar the last 3 games, let's be honest, we've got ourselves up there in contention, and the next game we've kind of let ourselves down. The last 3 games, certainly, we've been scoring goals and we've been playing well on the ball, starting games right for the start and going at teams. And I genuinely thought going into this game, I did. Maybe we jumped the gun too much. I genuinely thought we would have took the game to them today, but it just didn't transpire that way. But as you are all saying, the positive is we've got another crack at them. I think we'll beat them hands down at Ibrox. I honestly do. I think if we get to play football, a strong referee, I think we'll beat them. Most days, near enough every day of the week. I've got to be honest, I do, because when it comes to football, they haven't got it, guys. You've got to call it as you see it. They haven't. They're spoilers. What they tried to do was stop Rangers playing the day, and they were lucky enough to get a penalty. You know.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, they got beat 2.5 Hamilton last week, and they came out today and they kicked everything that moved. They went for everything. They tackled everything. They fought for everything. That's a cup final at the end of the day. It's quarter final of the Scottish Cup for Rangers. A cup final for them. But I just hope when we come to Ibrox next week, O'Neill Park, we can play the game. We can play. Get Kent on the ball. Get Candias on the ball and try and break them down. I'm just surprised we couldn't do that today, because we've got confidence going into these games after the results in the last couple of weeks. Maybe, like you're saying, we're maybe looking a wee bit ahead of ourselves, and maybe being a wee bit too overconfident, as in fans I'm talking about. And I think we've been going back to Ibrox during the week. We can play our own game, and I think we should be beating them no bother on our own park.
Here, totally agree.
Absolutely, mate.
George, I was just going to say that based on what you're saying, I can't disagree with you. I think Aberdeen are a really tough team, and that's the way they are. Their managers got them set out like that. They've put really, shall we say, blocking type game they play. That really dreadful blocking type game. Even off the ball, they're blocking everything. So I think Rangers, I'm not saying they played well, but given the circumstances, I thought they handled themselves well. There's no injuries that we know of. I'd love to hear the managers after match press conference, both managers, just to see what's going to happen. We won't hear it if it's on the BBC. We'll hear McInnes, but we will not hear our manager, which is a pity, as we know. And I can tell you now, McInnes will turn and say, "Oh, we should have beat them 2 or 3 or whatever." You know, that's exactly it.
Well, that's it. Again, we'll get it on. We'll get it on other channels. We'll hear it. Yeah. Aye, I've got the other one, but I think the manager's got to be honest about it. Bridget will say today we weren't very good today. Simple as that. I've got to be better. If we can beat Hamilton 4-0 last week, and I think we came out in the second half and we were pretty poor in the second half. I wouldn't say Dundee, sorry. I wouldn't say we were pretty poor, but we never scored, and he came out and thought we were quite poor. So he's probably got to say the same for the full game today. He's pretty honest with our manager. That's one thing I will say about him, Bridgie. He calls it as he sees it, and he'll probably be the same as us and say we're pretty poor. Did we deserve to win the game today? I don't really know if we did. We're happy enough to go back to Ibrox and take them on next week. But anyway,
I had his interview on Premier TV after the game, George, and he pretty much said the same things that we have, that it was a tough game, a lot of spoiling, and that really probably a draw was the sort of fairest result for both teams. So it was, his assessment was pretty fair and reflective of what we've been saying, mate.
Their type of play today, for me, honestly, I don't think they deserve a draw, and I'm not being unfair when I say that. I really didn't. They're just want to punt the ball, kick everything that moves, and I don't think that kind of football deserves a draw. I don't even think that deserves to be any kind of football, even mentioned as football. But for us to get back in the game after conceding a penalty, getting back in the game in the second half, and we're quite happy just to go back to Ibrox next week where we're confident we can actually take them on. I think we deserve the draw today, and I wouldn't even go as far as saying we deserve to win, because I'm quite happy just to go back to Ibrox next week. It's another home game for the fans. Should be pretty much a full crowd against that lot on Ibrox Tuesday night. So I'm looking forward to it. But we've got to leave it there now for the rest of the day, boys. And I'll speak to everybody tomorrow. Thanks for taking the time and phoning in, Bridgeman, Blue Star, and Ibrox. And I'll speak to you all tomorrow.
Cheers, George.
Cheers, George.
Cheers, George.
Thanks very much.